my thoughts already. My thoughts are, you guys are not friends. You guys are people that came on this fucking show to work together. So this is why you are going behind each other's back and doing all this dumb, catty stuff. If you're going to be somebody's cool friend and be cool with them, no matter who comes against you, what the odds are, the confessionals, all this shit is all one thing. It's going to all come back. What goes on in the dark comes to the light. So when you do in the dark, it comes back to slap you in the face, and now you look crazy because you sat up here and talked to somebody's face, and now you don't want to hold yourself accountable for it.
Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Tushy, and I'm happy to be your host once again. In today's video, we're basically just going to be like, going through the third part of the reunion show of Baddies South. Yes, I know I'm a little bit late, but hello, I'm so sorry. I had stuff to handle, and hence I am releasing this video now. Okay, so the version would be a let's talk about version, to keep it short, simple, and very straight to the point. If this is something you're very much interested in, you know what to do. As a new viewer, please go ahead to smash the subscribe button, and let's meet in the next video. This part 3 started with the fight between Sean and Persuasion. So the reason why, of course, Persuasion got jumped or got beat by Sean was obviously because of the statement she had made. Basically she was giving an explanation as to why things happened the way they happened between herself and Sean. And in between or amidst that explanation, that was when Persuasion actually made a very flimsy statement, if you ask me. Basically what she said was, instead, she definitely did apologize, but after apologizing, she went ahead to say that because I think she was asked why she said what she said, and obviously this question was because of the statement she had made to Sean, about allowing Sean's nigga go down on her, right? So basically that was what she was responding to, right? And her response was that she said it to hurt Sean, and she went on to explain that she's a Pisces, and that she would definitely speak to hurt you. And it was at this point that Sean got up to beat her, give her the beating of, I wouldn't say give her the beating of a life, but basically just beat her up. And I would say that she definitely deserves that ass whooping, because nobody talks like that. It's already a known fact that at some point Persuasion was kind of like a bully, but probably she didn't see it as bullying. Probably she felt like she could talk to Sean however she could, or in whatever way she wanted to, because obviously Sean was like the baby of the house. But she didn't know that Sean was definitely someone that was crazy up there, and could definitely give her a good ass whooping. I definitely do feel like Persuasion didn't have to say what she said. And also I would also use this medium to put it out there, because I feel like she's not the only person that does or says things like this, or like that rather. I have come across couple of persons that actually talk like that, basically justifying their actions with their star signs. That is the most ridiculous thing ever. So it's a good thing that Sean shut her up, and I hope that she uses that as a learning experience to not act the way she feels she's supposed to, or the way she feels her star sign will act, and justify whatever it is that she had done, or justify her actions with that flimsy excuse of it's her star sign traits, right? That's a very, very dumbass thing. To talk about the fact that at some point during the whole reunion, Sean got called out by Blueface. Blueface basically just walked in on the set. He didn't really walk in, he just at the back walked in and called her out, basically called her out like this. And first of all, I was expecting, well, before I even come to my opinion, after he called her out, obviously Sean would definitely run out to answer her call, right? Now, this particular thing that Blueface did disrupted the reunion show because, as at that point in time, Janisha John was already, about to ask a question to Sean. And immediately after Blueface came in and, called her out, it's like, the whole thing paused for a moment, right? And that obviously disrupted Janisha because she had to like switch the question and move on to like the next person. So like basically I found that I don't want to know what level or what how high you are in the Zeus production team, but like nobody does that. That is like very, very, that was to me show of disregard to like the whole show and then the persons that were on set for the reunion. Like that was really, really disrespectful from Blueface. And I'm not really surprised that Sean ran out to of course answer her call. But I was expecting some level of, well, this is me once again expecting a lot from people, but yeah, that's what it is. Let me know what you think about this particular scene in the comment section. Another person I'd like us to like really delve into is Anne. So Anne was definitely asked her question on where the whole Bianca name came from and why. And she basically was answering, or she answered to that saying that basically the Bianca name was more like a rebrand for her because after watching the show she was disgusted at how she acted during the course of the season, right? And then it was very much later that she disclosed that she was also an escort. And if we had to like rewind back into like several episodes, I think the first episode, if I'm not even mistaken, Bianca had the guts to call someone else out for being an escort. So like when she like actually disclosed this, I was like, what? Brie, if you ask me, is a very forgiving person because not to be proud or anything, but I for one know that if I was Brie, I would not be accepting any form of apologies from Anne because Anne, yes, she definitely also confirmed and revealed that she's a professional clout chaser. Like, why would I want to even keep that as a friend? Why would I want to keep a person who professionally clout chases on a regular basis? Obviously it means that person is going to be fake AF. But yeah, like she revealed that as well, and she basically said something about the reason why she kind of like changed a little during the show was because she had to figure out like when to like bring that version of her and when not to. So basically in essence, what I'm like trying to say is that after all of the reveals, or after these reveals from Anne, I was a little bit, I wouldn't say a little bit, I was very disappointed, because like I said, I don't see why you'd be calling out someone else for something that you're very much doing. Like, that's fake AF. And if you're gonna respond saying that okay, that was her clout chasing, I'm like, bro, like people need to like really understand that sometimes like certain actions that they take all in the name of like trying to like clout chase can like in real life hurt people, in real life hurt people's images. Now, like Brie mentioned earlier, she didn't know Anne from a can of paint. So for Anne to like put out Brie's personal business all in the name of clout chasing, that was very shallow. And like I said, if I was Brie, I would not be taking any apologies from Anne. Can we talk about the fact that Sean was really, really acting very immature? And I don't want to know if it was the alcohol that was making her act that way, but like she was really acting out of place. First of all, talking over people, not allowing people to like really talk. This includes both the cast members and the host. Like, I was freaking irritated at that. Secondly, flinging a pillow towards Persuasion while she was like trying to explain something or trying to like answer a question that was asked. Like when she flung that pillow, I was like, bro, I don't care if I don't know how to fight. If that pillow had actually touched me, say I was Persuasion and that pillow had actually touched me, I would definitely take off my heels and fling them at her as well. Because like, to be honest, I have to say that Sean's display throughout this show, throughout the reunion show part 1 all the way to 3, was really irritating, to be honest. She really acted very immature, and you know, I was very disappointed. I like the fact that she gave some persons a good ass whooping because they deserved it, but at the same time I wasn't really happy about the way that, you know, Sean carried herself throughout the reunion. It was really displeasing to me. Let's talk about, you know, Jayla's behavior during the season, right? During season 2. Now remember, if you've been following my videos, I really did have a problem with Jayla speaking a lot of ill, you know, against Natalie. And you know, then when I said what I said it because, you know, I was judging based on what I was watching, or based on what, you know, Zeus was presenting to me. Because based on what I had watched in the previous episodes, I didn't see the need as to why Jela had to like bad talk Natalie in any way. But yeah, of course, Jayla's friendship rather with Natalie was questioned by Janisha. And yeah, she responded saying that, you know, the reason why she acted the way she acted towards Natalie during the course of the season was because of what Anne had disclosed to her. Now apparently Jayla said something about that, you know, she and Anne had spent like, you know, private, let me not say private, but like she and Anne had spent like, you know, some amount of time together outside the whole filming of the show. And you know, in between spending that time together was when Anne actually disclosed to her that Natalie has said a lot of shit about her, you know, basically. And she said, according to Jayla, she said Anne disclosed these things whilst in tears. I really don't believe that, you know, Natalie would have been the only person talking, because Anne is one to also talk. So I definitely believe that there was some kind of exchange. Yes, Natalie would have said some kind of, you know, or said whatever she needed to say about Jela. But I also know that at some point Anne would have, you know, contributed to the conversation. So like, I also know that, you know, the Anne that I know, when she's finally like feeding this information to Jayla, she's gonna filter out the part, or she's gonna filter out what she said about Jayla, or what she had contributed to the conversation as a when Natalie was feeding her all the bad things she's there to feed her about Jayla, right? Now, the reason why I said this will be revealed very much later, because even Natalie confirms this. Natalie confirmed my speculation. But yeah, back to Jayla. Jayla basically said that yes, that this was the reason why she was saying all what she was saying, or this was the reason why she acted the way she acted, you know, towards Natalie during filming, basically because of what Anne had fed her. Now Natalie, you know, trying to like, you know, save herself or save her image, basically came out saying that, you know, that she genuinely loves Jayla. And that was when I saw Anne stand up and walk out. And you know, in between Anne actually, when she stood up, she basically called Natalie out, saying that Natalie was fake and Natalie shouldn't lie, and that she was not going to sit down there and allow Natalie lie to Jayla or whatever. Basically she stood up and walked out, and Natalie was like, no, come back, let's put this all out there, come back. But of course Anne did not come back, and this was when Natalie finally disclosed that Anne had also said stuff about Jayla, and exactly confirming my speculation, because like I said, these girls, all they do is just talk. you'll be thinking you're friends with someone, but you're feeding her information about someone else, and when she goes to that someone else, they both will be feeding, you know, each other information about you. Like, it's like I said, like, this circle is not a circle of friends. I think I've mentioned this earlier, and I've been repeating this right from the very first episode since I started, you know, reviewing this show. So yeah, let's talk about that. So my thing is, why did Anne walk out? Why didn't she? Yes, she said that Natalie was fake. Natalie said a lot of things about Jayla. Why did she feel like it was okay for her to say stuff, to, you know, basically accuse someone of saying stuff, and not actually sit down and have a proper conversation and, you know, debunk or concur or confirm whatsoever is being thrown out? That is my question. Like, why did she feel like she needed to walk out? So this is to be honest, I don't see Anne in any light other than, or in any light better than the rest of the girls. Like I said, these girls are like basically all the same, if you ask me. Like, these girls are basically all the same, like all of them from head to finish. So like, I feel like if Anne was really confident about all the things she had alleged Natalie to say, she would have actually sat down there to like really confirm all what she said, right? But she didn't, which actually speaks volume, which actually goes a long way to say that probably Anne, you know, wasn't even that righteous, let's be honest. So like, I feel like she didn't stay back because she knew that her hands were not that clean. Because if her hands were truly clean, she would have sat down there and they would have gone through everything. They would have gone through the hearsay, you know, who said this, who said that, confirm what was actually said and by whom. But she didn't sit down there and you can't tell me it's because she had rebranded herself. You can't give me that flimsy excuse. And if you ask me, was not that clean as well. Like, let's be honest, her hands were not that clean. That was why she didn't sit back down to have that conversation. Can we talk about the fact that Rollie disclosed that Natalie had sexual relations with all her friends? And this was what was said to her from Natalie herself. So like, can we talk about that? Yes or no? Yes or no? And you know, she had also mentioned earlier, she also disclosed that on Natalie's trip to Africa, when she and Scotty kind of went down, like they ate each other's pee, you know. And obviously Scotty debunked this, saying that, you know, that she never gives Natalie a head. And Rollie was like, okay, but she said you did give her a head. And I never at any point hear Scotty debunk that. She debunked her giving Natalie a head, but she never debunked Natalie giving her a head. So like, this whole reunion show was like trashy, if you ask me. People were not really allowed to talk because some other persons were talking over them or screaming over them. Like, there was no level of maturity, there was no composure. Some of the girls, I wouldn't say most, but some of the girls really acted very immature. Girls like Natalie, Sean, like they really acted immature, and it was really very irritating. And especially because Natalie, for one, like, I don't know whatever she was fed, but she basically, like, how she acted was basically like, you know, it's my show, I can do whatever I want, you know, and disrespect whoever I need. Like I was really irritated at Natalie's behavior and Sean's behavior. But like, you know, the show overall was like, you know, a mess. Like, they didn't really get to like touch the topics they needed to touch because certain persons were acting very immature, basically. And you know, Trina like had to like come in and let them know that, you know, none of them were bad bitches, right? Because a bad bitch, when you say something, basically she said that there was a lot of hearsay, people talking at the back and coming out and, you know, zipping their lips. Like, she basically said that a bad bitch would, stand on whatever she says, right? And I really concord with that, because like, these girls are just bunch of talkatives. They just like to talk, and when it's time to like come out and really stand on what you said about the other person or what you feel about the other person, that's when you hear crickets. So like, basically that's what Trina said. Basically she said none of them were bad bitches, none of them. I like the fact that she emphasized on the none of them being friends, because I've said this thing before, and when I said none, like all of them are not friends. Like, that umbrella carried both Rollie and Slim, who claim they are the most genuine of all the girls. Like, I don't see any friendship in any of these girls, and Trina said the same thing. And I was like, damn, yeah, thank you for like putting it out there and letting them know, because like, truly these girls were really not friends, right? And then she went ahead to say that it's obvious that they are not friends. So basically what they would have done is like keep everything strictly business, because that's also like something a bad bitch would do, right? Because like, you can't tell me you're coming on a show that would like be very, very advantageous to you on like a whole lot of platforms. It's giving you the outreach, it's giving you basically. And the truth is, because of like this whole like petty rubbish, most of them didn't really get to like showcase their real talents. Like Scotty mentioned, she said that she is actually a personal trainer. I didn't know about that until the ending of the show. Why? Because you were so busy having fun and you forgot to like actually sell your markets. And this is the same thing that applied to like a whole bunch of them on that stage. Like, they were so busy getting so caught up in their pettiness that they forgot the real purpose of that show. They forgot what they could actually gain, what they could actually, the tools they could actually harness into like pushing themselves out. And that is basically what Trina said, and that was real fact. I know most of them want to lie and say, yes, I have something going, I have money, I'm making money outside the show. Bitch, sorry for using that word, but hello, like, this was a bigger platform for you to like actually push yourselves out, but you were too busy getting caught up in your mess, in each other's mess. Trina really dished it out there to them the way it was, as they hot, and I really liked it. I liked how honest and very straight to the point she was. But yeah, that was basically her remark. So this brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this and you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Okay? And yeah, if you are as joyous and excited as I am for a season 3 of Baddies, let me know in the comment section. But until then, see you.